Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Vindication Swim. This is a new biopic. This drama from writer-director Elliot Hassler focuses on Mercedes Gleitze, who is the first British woman to swim across the English Channel. And this comes at a very interesting time where the film Young Woman in the Sea had just recently come out for Disney about Gertrude Ederle, who is the first woman in general. And this film even opens up with that event happening, this triggering Gleitze's own journey. And this film is much bolder from a cinematic standpoint, dealing in really crisp black and white filmmaking at moments, cutting to rich color, and trying to balance both of those elements into this one film. I do have to say, from a technical standpoint, there are some glaring holes. The sound mixing on this film is really not great. It's like worse than Christopher Nolan in terms of how loud the music is and being able to try to hear the actors and everything else going on in the film when all this music is just so ridiculously loud. So that's a challenge. But from a visual standpoint, this is bold and interesting and ambitious. It stands out compared to other films like this because you see a lot of films with these this sports biopics being pretty straightforward from a filmmaking standpoint and just focusing on an inspirational story. This one is a little bolder in terms of what it's trying to do from a cinematic standpoint. From a story standpoint, I feel like how this story plays out, it's very little about the actual swimming. There are a couple moments where it has some tension and suspense there, but very little of the film's runtime is focusing on the actual event of her swimming across the channel, which is interesting. And a big part of it's the lead up to it, her connecting with her coach, Harold Best, played by John Locke. Kirsten Kellen plays Mercedes Gleitze, and they both do really fine jobs in their performances. They have some interesting and engaging moments together in particular that add some depth. But then it's also the fallout afterwards. There's focusing on the challenge of the calling into question what she did and then having to go back and redo this whole thing. And it's very interesting in the way that you would expect more of this film to be focusing on the swimming elements, but it is a lot of the controversy and the underlying sexism and the controversy of people not believing her. Because when she first did it, there weren't officials there to follow along. But this is, I think, a rock solid told story. The story is a bit lacking in terms of its execution, and there are some technical elements that are really fantastic, but unfortunately other technical aspects that just don't reach that same kind of height and honestly kind of take you out of the movie a bit. So in the end, I think this is more of a mixed bag of a film, but it does have some big highs. And in general, this is still a very inspirational story worth experiencing. But those are my thoughts on Vindication Swim. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.